Hi friends, I am Joel John and now I am going to talk with you about an important aspect of interview preparation, that is group discussion. It could be a banking job interview or a MBA admission program, or in a corporate world, maybe for a call center or for in IT or into a marketing or any kind of an administrative job. Group discussion is one of the main deciding parameters in the interview. So, what is group discussion? We all are familiar with this. You would have spoken with your group of friends about your favorite cricket match, about the movie you saw earlier, and about an event which happened on the country. It may be demonetization or your favorite party chance for winning in the election, or a recent announcement from the government, or like changes in tax slabs, all those. So we are familiar on discussing with groups, but in the same thing happens in the interview. We are all getting a little bit scared, nervous. This nervousness is our first enemy to get selected in the process. So we have to come out of that and think we are going to do something which we are familiar with, which is our day-to-day activity, which we are often doing. But now we are going to show our skill sets to an interviewer to show how assertive we are when doing a common event which happens throughout our life. That is, when we discuss in a group how good we are and how are we showing some of the essential skills required by any organization or any corporate for its employees to exhibit when they discuss on a group, so that their brand image, their reputation, and their chance for getting more profit increases. So this is what any company or an interviewer expects from you when you engage in a group discussion. Apart from that, as usual, they check on your knowledge on the topic, and then your leadership skills, the quality of speech, which includes your grammar, communication. And don't think of grammar mistakes when you speak in a group discussion. Hardly you'll be speaking for 2 to 3 minutes, and there are a lot of parameters which they evaluate during a group discussion. So don't give much importance towards grammar, but make sure you are not at all nervous throughout the section. Your body language is much evaluated in a group discussion apart from your personal face-to-face interview. And another one thing is like behavior. You should behave well mannered throughout this group discussion section. And guidelines, you should be relevant to that. You should show you are confident and your appearance. These are some of the key important factors. And don't use a lot of hand gestures as I am using to you now, because I am doing this to make this video views more interesting. But the same will not appear on a group discussion. You have to look around. Mostly you'll be seated on a round table. The small groups will be like 6 or 8, and the bigger groups will be 10 to 12. And very rarely I have heard some of them are having 15 people in a team, and most of the timing will be 20 minutes or 30 minutes. Very rare cases it will go to 40 to 45 minutes. This is the time. And there will be an instructor for a group discussion. The instructor is also an interviewer. You have to be very careful here. You should not think that the person who is giving instruction is someone to help you or support you. Yes, he will also support you if you have any doubts, or in case if before the GD is going to start late, and once if you or sometimes they will come and update you, the GD is going to start late, you can have a coffee or tea and come back. Ask them for the time. That kind of things will give a good impression on you. So how within how many minutes we have to be back, and also make sure that you are for sure be within the time. So these kinds of opportunity you get very rarely, but if you ask this question, you will be outstanding from the whole crowd, even without even before the interview starts. Most of the company evaluate you from the moment you sign the reception registered that you are coming for an interview. That's the fact. So don't go and ask the receptionist to give me some more marks. All those, they don't expect this in any of the organization. But still, be professional. Make sure that you have a pen with you. Use your pen because that will look you unique from the crowd, right? And if they give the pen, use their pen. Don't say that I will use only my pen. That will sound very odd. So think of everything when you go for an interview. So as I told you now, as these people will be mostly seated on a U-shaped table or a rectangular, that is the front end will be open. It will be like a, what to say, mostly U shape. It will be like a cutted rectangle. So this is kind of appearance for a table. So you have a chance to see everyone as well as the interviewer. One of the main aspect of body language is you have to sit straight, keep your hands on the table, have a small notepad. Whenever you go for an interview, make sure that you have a notepad. If you have GD, make sure that you have a notepad and have a pen. Open the pen, keep it on the notepad. Only take it when you want to make points. This will give you an excellent opinion on you without even speaking, whether you speak grammar mistakes or something. When an interviewer sees you with a notepad and pen, but don't do this for a personal interview, you'll be kicked out. When there is a group discussion, you are allowed to do this. When they see that, they will be looking at you at a very good person and very responsible. Even if they feel like you are slightly lower, they will think that this person, if you give a training, as he's making notes, he will climb up on during the training period, and you may be selected than a person who slightly scores more than you, because your attitude is being noted on all the stages of interview. So have a notepad open and have your pen ready for that. Use ball pen, don't use ink pens. Some of them continue the school and college behavior till their interview class. The reason why I am saying don't use ink pen, even if it's a Parker pen, it won't write properly, then it will also spill out. So you can use a gel pen, but make sure that you don't keep your gel pen open like this on the packet and there will be a ring of your ink, even if it's a gel pen. Ball pens don't do all those things. They maximum put a small dot. So for those kinds of things, be conscious. So that's why I recommend ball pens, and make sure that the pen looks good, because your impression, your looks, everything is very important here. Okay. And now to getting into the topic, there will be three things which are mainly in GD, which is which a candidate has to show in GD. One is initiator, and another one is coordinator, and another one is conclusion. So these are the three things. And sometimes the interviewer will come, that's a GD, this person is called as the GD host or the GD evaluator. This person will come in and give an introduction like, and this is the topic we are going to discuss about. He will tell the topic, and mostly he will give you some 1 or 2 minutes to think of that and start the conversation. This is a very formal GD. Sometimes they will say that start from this person, and everyone will get only one chance to express their opinion for the first, say if there are 10 members, for the first 20 minutes, take 2 to 3 minutes max, and this person will be attentive with the watch, so that don't exceed the maximum timing of 3 minutes. Make sure that you touch 2 minutes and then 10 seconds or something and stop with that, because in these there is something called as paraphrasing skills in English, mainly in call centers or whatever the discussion you are. If you are unable to convey the message within a short span of time, and if you are going with your blah 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 steps, you will be an blah 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 in the organization. So they don't want people who speak much, they want people who speak accurately. So stay time conscious. Even if the interviewer doesn't say any instruction, let you speak as you like. Still make sure, if there is a 10 people in the crowd and 30 minutes is the allotted time, your first speech should be only for 1.5 or 2 minutes, and then you have to in between you have to do a kind of coordinating role. You will get an opportunity. You have to agree with someone or disagree with someone. Disagree, please don't do that often. There is always a chance for argument to happen when you disagree. So you may be noted as an argument starter, which is a negative in a group discussion. So don't do that, but be positive. Whenever you get a positive chance, yes, I like to go with my friend, you can go ahead like that. And argument stoppers are also an advantageous, but be very careful and be very assertive when you do that. I will talk about that a little bit later. Now the interviewer has given the topic, and now when the chance is left over for becoming an initiator, most of the time, if you have a good subject knowledge, or even if you don't have, I will say that even if you don't have a subject knowledge, you can still start, and you can start by greeting everyone. Greetings to all of you, my friends. And now the topic is, tell the topic. The topic could be like India is yet to become a superpower. Why? You can tell the topic like this. If this is the topic given by the interviewer, tell them, greetings to all of you, my friends. The topic we are going to discuss today is India is yet to become a superpower. Why? And I am happy that I am going to get my knowledge grown on this by attending this GD. And as an Indian, I wanted India to be a superpower by now. But there are some drawbacks like high rate of bribe, or the lack of coordination among various departments in the governments, which has delayed the process, but definitely will become superpower. And I want to hear all of your thought process on this, and after that, in between, I will coordinate among you and I will come up with my points. If you say this itself, you are an initiator, you have given 1 or 2 points that anybody can tell. There is no need to frame a long sentence in GD. And don't frame much, because grammar is also an important aspect. You may lose your marks. So just pass it on to the next person. And my next friend can take up the topic. And also in most of the GDs, in between there will be a place where the whole team will be silent. 1 or 2 people would have spoken and everybody would be silent. At that time, this is the excellent opportunity to become a coordinator. And your leadership skills will be shown here. And just wait for some 15 seconds. Don't say that just one person stops and no other person doesn't have. Hey, break is that? Not like that. Simply say that. Yeah, it's about 15 seconds and no one is talking more. Can we move, because we have to finish this within 20 or 30 minutes. So anyone likes to volunteer raising their hands, or anyone wants to just volunteer and speak up? You can ask like this. Still, if nobody sends, okay, look at all of them, and any of my friends, can we go by right ways or left ways so that everyone starts speaking? By this time, definitely 1 or 2 people will speak. So just leave them. Don't say that, only by right, only by left, because of this the break happened. With the first one itself, friends, there is a break. Can anyone start up itself? Someone will say, hey, I am starting. Mostly it will happen, because GDs won't be the first section. So most of the time it will happen, and after 5 people starts, and someone will support you and speak. Say, as my friend, my name is Joel, as your name, friend Joel said, there is a lot of bribes in this country. That's the main reason for the failure. We are not a superpower yet. So immediately, once he finish, just look at him, smile and say thank you. That will be a great impression on you. No need to say the blah 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 of all those, because you shouldn't be looked like a person who wastes the time, but you are a very good coordinator and you are a resourceful speaker. So that's kind of opinion you have to maintain. And some people will oppose you and say that as a person who spoke earlier, or the initiator said, bribe is the main reason. Bribe is not the main reason. Our people are not working properly, that's why it's bribes are happening. If you are genuine, why should you bribe? That the people, the citizens of the city, India, should change. They have to be more workaholic. They have to be active 24/7. They have to be doing everything creatively. There shouldn't be any waste, all those blah 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 stuff. And for this also, you have to smile at him and maintain a very happy face contact. And you should also look at other people. You should also look at the interviewer, but don't tap your hands like this during the interview. Your body should be calm in a proper position. And then once we finish, tell him your points are noted, my friend, and I do agree. People also should be active. Once you say this, they will, your opinion, or your coming out of the whole group in the group discussion. You have agreed to someone who has a negative thought process on you. That person will automatically smile. Most of the humans will smile. Some people will be very different. That we cannot do anything about that. But the interviewer will give you the maximum score. So you have to also accept the negatives from the people. Okay, my friend, you have to acknowledge to that. Acknowledging is a key factor in group discussion. I acknowledge to that, but only acknowledge to people who speak about you. For all those whoever is mentioning your name and talking, acknowledge to them and thank them. And when you come up with the conclusion, say for example, I am going to coordinate again. One person says that India is not having enough warheads. That's the reason we are not being a superpower still. We do have, at that time you can, after that there is a silence, so you can start up like, yeah, I do agree, my friend, but still we have supersonic missiles like Agni. We have our own indigenous aircraft, which most of the developed countries don't have. Only the European Union is creating an aircraft for the entire countries in the European region. There are a lot of developed countries. Only France and United Kingdom is on the work of coming up with the above fourth generation level aircrafts. No one has that. We have a 4.5 generation aircraft, that too an indigenous aircraft. That's a great credit for our country. So I don't think that we are lacking on military power, but still there are a lot of things to go ahead. Like that, you can also speak against the topic, and if you have a good point flow on that. So it's not that you should always agree with everyone. Then the discussion goes on, and finally still there will be 2 or 3 people who will never speak. And also ask them for their friends. My dear friends, you both haven't spoke. Can we know your names? This time most of them will say, I am this, I am that. You are made people who are not spoken to speak. And okay friends, what's your opinion about that, about this? Some people will say that, yeah, I agree with you. Or if they still don't know, I have to think of. And I think we will be agreeing or disagreeing with some of the points which I said, like bribe and lack of coordination in government departments, or my friend who opposed and said that we have to have a huge defense system, or my another friend who said that our people are not working properly. Any of this point you also think to go with? They will say, I go with all the points or something. This shows an extraordinary impression on you. This team, the people who haven't spoke, have spoken because of this person. So you become a great leader. Conclusion: there are 2 people who initiate the conclusion, who conclude. Even during the conclusion, if nobody does any of my friend like to conclude this conversation? So as I have initiated, I don't think that I should I alone can conclude. So anyone start up. In future, if I have something to add up, I will add up. At this time, you are being a very good leader. Being a leader and being a good coordinator is more important than initiating or concluding a group discussion. So these are the 2 parameters where you get the maximum mark. And do not, it's like being aggressive, over speaking. Whenever someone speaks, you shouldn't always interfere. You wait for some 15 seconds gap. Only when you get a 50 seconds gap, interfere on that. And avoid negative gestures, negative body language, and usage of phones during interview. Shocking thing is, you have to put your phones on silent mode. If there is an emergency call, yes, you can get excused and move out of the room, but please avoid those kinds of situations until it's a very real emergency. And the shocking fact which I am seeing is, I do attend interviews, and I haven't attended group discussion for a quite long time. Once I finished my college, I had chance for getting into group discussion for some other roles. After that, I didn't got much opportunity. Extempors I did a lot. During extempore speech, I have found people playing with their cell phones. I had found people waiting on the lobby playing with their cell phones. Playing with cell phones on lobby, somewhat it's okay, but if any interviewer crosses you and find you playing a mobile game on cell phone, definitely you will be disqualified. I had personally seen people during extempore rounds. Their English is excellent. These are for call center jobs. Call center mainly looks for excellent English speaking skills. People who speak a neutral English without grammar mistake, who have an excellent thought flow, who have a good coordination skill. And these are the main aspects, and there is nothing a great knowledge required or a great process skill required. Only it's about English. When you move up the ladder like senior associate, team leads, managers, there are things like black belt, green belt, genie program. There are a lot of things for development, but for an executive level interview, they mainly look for English knowledge and very little domain knowledge. If you go for a technical process, you should know about a router. If you go for a banking job related BPO opening, you should know about what is banking. If you don't even have that knowledge in training, you won't understand anything. That's also again a lack of word power or lack of skill set or knowledge. So that's how they reject people. Believe me, I have seen people who had extraordinary communication skill, who have extraordinary thought flow, who have extraordinary skill set. Their names were not read. The reason is they were using cell phones, and I had seen HR shouting at people who are using cell phones during the process of interview, and mainly during extempore round. In GD, they may not do that in order to not to disturb the candidates, but if they found you doing any mischief activities like this, definitely you are going to be disqualified. So please behave when you are on an interview hall. And your listening skill, and you are maintaining eye contact with all the people, showing that you are interested with the conversation by a mild smile. Don't laugh like just smile. Okay, and the smile is a secret sword that will secure your success. So have a smiling face always. And then, as I told you, when you conclude, mention the conclusion is the only thing we are left to talk about. When you conclude, mention a few of the points given by your friends. Write down their names. I asked you to have a notepad and pen, right? Main thing is to note down the name and few points which they say, so that during conclusion you can read it out. So you have asked someone else to conclude. After that, he says that, so I think like these are the facts, and say that the 20 minutes GD is just over in 13 minutes. Say that, friend, we have still some few time minutes left over, so I also like to add a few points and point out some of the other person's opinion, and tell your opinion about that, and then conclude. If you are unable to do that, just leave it. It's not going to be your fault if the group discussion doesn't run 13 minutes. Don't try to do something which you are unable to do. So stick on with that as well. And okay, friends, and I think I would have cleared all your doubts about group discussion. And this is one of the main aspects in interviews. So prepare well for this shows your leadership skill, your managerial skills, and everything. So wish you all a very success. And as a YouTube blogger, press the subscribe button below. Pause your comments on the comment box below, so that, and what are the types of interview questions you have, what are your requirements, I will be able to understand and give you much better videos. And also press the thumbs up icon below as a token of appreciation for me, and press the share button and share it on all the social media accounts you have, so that all your social media friends also will be benefited, and I also will be benefited as many of your friends look at my video. Also pass on with the comment that subscribe to this channel, so that your friends also will become my subscribers. And thank you in advance for going to comment, subscribe, press the thumbs up symbol, and press the share icon, and subscribe, and share this video in all your social medias like Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, WhatsApp groups, and friends. Thank you very in advance, and wish you all a successful life. It's time to say bye. It's your Joel John J signing off from you. Bye.